Hello Scorpio and welcome to your reading. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes and go over your astrological chart for June because I have it pulled up right beside me right here. So if you are a Scorpio rising, then this astrological portion of your reading will be most accurate. If not, it will still apply. But for the most accurate astrology reading for the month of June, make sure to check out your rising sign video and they are all linked down below. So if you want to get straight to your tarot reading, check the description for the timestamp to jump straight into that. Okay, so moving into your astrological chart for the month of June, what I'm seeing here, Scorpio, is Sun North Node is moving throughout your 8th house in the sign of Gemini, and Mercury is also moving throughout your 8th house in the sign of Cancer, and he is getting ready to go retrograde. All of this action happening in your 8th house, and this is the house that you rule, Scorpio, that you naturally rule. So this is sending you into a time of exploration. You are receiving a lot of information on your unconscious, aka your shadow self, and you're going to be able to connect the dots to finally see how your shadow shows itself from time to time in your ego and or behaviors. Anytime we have the sun in the house of death, the 8th house, you know, this is Pluto's house. This is illumination of the shadow or darker aspects of the self, especially with your 8th house being ruled by Gemini. You're getting the 411 lowdown on your unconscious shadow side. So Mercury is also in your 8th house. So the 8th house is when we are introduced to boundaries, a way to distinguish what is yours versus what is mine. With Mercury being here in the sign of Cancer, you may feel the want or need to separate yourself so you can think and process. Mentally, you're going to want or need a safe space to emotionally process in June, Scorpio. So you may also be wondering where to place certain people and relationships in your life in the month of June, because Venus is in retrograde and she's regressed back into your 7th house in the sign of Gemini. So you're going to be receiving intuitive guidance that makes sense to you, but not to other people. And you may out of nowhere have the urge to just simply break things off with people or to not speak to certain people in the month of June. Now, Chiron and Lilith is transiting your 5th house in the sign of Aries, and this is going to keep you stern and focused on the changes that you want and need to make. This is something you're going to take so seriously because the Sun and North Node are conjunct in your native house, the 8th house. And the interesting thing here, Scorpio, is some of you may be meeting a past life connection this month because the South Node is in your 2nd house and it's in the sign of Sagittarius. And the South Node is opposing your Sun in the 8th. So there could be a connection established, especially a spiritual connection, where you meet a past life connection in your dream state or astral traveling or some other form of telepathic communication, especially with Mercury in your 8th house in the sign of Cancer. So Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn retrograde is also moving through your 3rd house, and this is the house of communication, information, intel, and knowledge. So these 3 planets sitting retrograde is demolishing your conventional ways or means of communicating. And this is why I'm saying there could for sure be some sort of establishment, some sort of connection made between you and some sort of past life connection. And like I said, this could be a romantic or platonic connection. It feels a little romantic for some of you. Now, if you're already in a relationship, then that might not be the case, obviously, but you might already be with this past life connection. But for those of you that are single or maybe preparing to be single, maybe preparing to end things, to close things off with someone, you're probably being led to do this because you are being guided towards your past life connection, okay? Now, moving on to the solar eclipse, and this is occurring June 20th to the 21st during the new moon in the sign of Cancer. And a solar eclipse is just when the moon intersects the sun and the earth. So this will be happening in your house, the 8th house, okay, but in the sign of Cancer, and this will be conjuncting your North Node, and this will be directly opposing your 2nd house of resources, love, beauty, assets, money. So there's a connection being established for some of you, and it's coming through so strong, but there's big potential to meet a platonic or romantic past life partner here. Besides that though, Scorpio, you are moving into a new phase if you trust it, and there's almost instantaneously a transition or change from who and how you used to be. And you will know and feel it instantly when you try to do the things that you used to do and things just immediately fall apart. This solar eclipse for you is acknowledging how you've asked for things to change in the past. So Spirit is saying, well, do differently. This may feel forced in the beginning. You are a fixed sign, but you are a water sign, Scorpio. So adaptation is a natural gift of yours and you know how to evolve beautifully. So just allow that to really flow through you. Now let's go ahead and check out you guys' tarot cards here to get a little more in depth of a reading on the energy that you're going to be dealing with in the month of June. So these first 4 tarot cards right here will be just showing me the energy that your month of June is bringing. And this card all the way over here to the right will be showing me a message from your spiritual team for the month of June. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The very first card that we have here, beautiful. We have the Ten of Materials, otherwise known as the Ten of Pentacles. Then we have, wow, look at her coming through. We have the High Priestess. Okay. Then we have the Queen of Emotions in reverse, otherwise known as the Queen of Cups in reverse. And then we have the Ace of Emotions, otherwise known as the Ace of Cups. All right. So we have here the Ten of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Ace of Cups, and the Queen of Cups in reverse. So you love stability, Scorpio, don't you? And I get it. I'm a Taurus. I'm your opposing sign, and I value it just as much as you do. But the Ten of Pentacles and the High Priestess here is saying one message very clearly, and that is your stability and security is coming through your intuition this June, Scorpio. The only way to achieve stability and comfort, that feeling of security and safety, is through and with your intuition, your High Priestess. Doesn't matter if you identify as a male or a woman. We all have an inner High Priestess that lives with us and an inner High Priest that lives within us, okay? So the thing with the High Priestess here, trying to do things the old way, trying to see clarity the way that you did in the past will not work for you in June, Scorpio. This is a new way of knowing, of being and communicating, as well as, like I mentioned in your astrological chart, there may be some telepathic communication and the High Priestess shows up. So this is all about you being able to listen to your inner knowing, Scorpio, being able to be loyal and committed to your High Priestess, to your inner knowing, and not talking yourself out of what you feel because maybe the facts make things look differently. Well, the facts may be there, but you might not be able to see all of the facts, Scorpio. And that's one thing to really sort of factor in for sure. That's why your High Priestess, your intuition will be everything this June for you. She will reveal more to you than what you can find out by talking, asking, and seeking. Instead of you having to go fishing around for answers, she's going to be right there giving you answers and clarity. For some of my Scorpios, this may freak you out a bit in June because the communication between yourself and your higher self is going to be so clear, almost as if you were speaking to another person. An Ace of Emotions, do you see how in this card she's swimming to the surface? Do you see that? That's your High Priestess. That's your intuition finally reaching your consciousness, but in a way that is so clear and precise. And don't worry, your intuition will back up everything it tells you in June with this Ten of Pentacles right here. So this is saying that whatever it is that you receive intuitively will eventually physically manifest, okay? So when you receive guidance to do this or to do that, it might or might not make sense to you. But if you step out on a limb and try it instead of using energy to figure out where this guidance is coming from, if you can trust it, your intuition will double down by proving to you, I am trustworthy. My guidance does work. You're going to see instant results with a lot of your guidance that you receive this month because your High Priestess is trying and wanting to develop this really strong connection and bond with you that's very real with this Ten of Pentacles right here. So there's so much success for you in June if you are willing to trust your intuition. And the Queen of Cups in reverse is saying it won't make sense to others or on paper, but it will work out for you with this Ten of Cups here. So for some of you as well, there's some feelings breaching the surface that you've never felt before. That's what I'm picking up here. For some of you, this is a new person and your High Priestess is working to bridge your natural with the Ten of Pentacles here and your spiritual or emotional self with the Ace of Cups and the Queen of Cups here. She's wanting to bridge these two things together for you. See how the Queen of Cups is touching the surface? Let me just hold her up. If I flip her around, you see how she's just barely touching the surface? Well, the Ten of Pentacles is your logical ego self, right? The Ten of Pentacles is your surface. And this is exactly what's happening for you in June, Scorpio, is your Queen of Cups, your emotional self, your High Priestess, your intuition. Your High Priestess is going to be conjuring up certain feelings that are very deeply felt within you, and they're going to try to sort of bubble to the surface, right? They're going to try to breach your surface. That the way they can get to your ego. That the way they can get to your consciousness. And with the Ten of Pentacles being your logical ego self, your High Priestess is changing you fundamentally. That's exactly what's happening here. She is giving she's giving you certain guidance and messages, your high priestess, and it is conjuring up certain feelings and emotions. And so these emotions may feel very foreign to you, very alien to you, right? But the thing is like I was saying, the Ten of Pentacles is representing your logical ego self. Your high priestess is changing you fundamentally from the inside out, where you learn how to be more in tune with your emotions, with universe, the spirit, and the people around you. So you're getting into a different rhythm here in the month of June, okay, Scorpio? Let's go ahead and check out the message from your spiritual team to see what they have to say. Look at that. Look at what we've got going on here. We have the Hermit. Wow. So like I mentioned in your astrological chart, Scorpio, that you may try or want to be directed to put some distance between yourself and some of the people in your life. So you may try to, you may want to, or you may be guided to put some distance between you and certain people. I also talked about how you will want and crave and need a safe space to emotionally process. Your spiritual team is saying that there will be a catalyst, some sort of moment or a conversation and experience, something that happens in June that sends you on this voyage of self-discovery, right? But this is happening for you to accept yourself, to make peace with the surface and the deepest layers, the deepest parts of you. Because Scorpio, you really hate it when people can see the deepest parts of you. You don't feel as safe when you are that vulnerable or transparent. Your feelings of safety and comfort come from you having that insurance almost of, well, they can't see that deep or that much of me. There's always something more. There's always another layer that's buried away for a Scorpio. That's kind of you guys is like insurance right there, is where it's like, well, there's always something else in the holster. There's always something else in the can that they don't know about me. And that brings you a sense of comfort. That brings you a sense of peace. But the interesting thing happening in June is those parts that you've buried away for insurance, that is all coming to the surface. So you no longer have to fear it. So you no longer have to be intimidated or feel threatened or attacked by vulnerability and transparency, but instead you embrace it and accept it like the Hermit here. Your spiritual team, it's like I see them almost like rubbing their hands together, like, oh yeah, now we finally got them. We get a lot of time together in June to really hammer away at the things that's keeping you from genuine soul connection, Scorpio. That's the thing. This inability to simply be you in your own skin around others has kept some of my Scorpios from real, genuine connections. So some of you are on track to meeting that person that you were supposed to be with. I just heard that for some of you. The universe is getting you to embrace the deepest parts of yourself and to not feel intimidated or powerless to them anymore, but for you to wear these deepest parts of yourself proudly. That the way when this connection is established, this person or people or opportunity, they know exactly who you are. So it or they can read you. So this connection establishes and stays established. It stays connected. It actually strengthens and bond by them getting to see the true you, by you getting to see the true them, by you getting to see, wow, they are seeing all of me and they accept all of me. That is going to really deepen this bond for you. So there's a soul connection happening to something in June for you. Like I said, for some of you, this is a person, like a past life connection, romantic or platonic. For others of you, maybe this is your high priestess. Maybe this is you connecting to a hobby or an art or a skill, something like that. But this really does feel like another person for many of you. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to you guys' oracle cards here. The stack of oracle cards to see what else it is that we have going on in your month of June. So we're going to start with these two cards here, and these two cards are going to be showing us what parts of your astrological chart Spirit in the universe is really trying to highlight for this month of June, okay? And we have here 5th house ruled by Leo and the Sun. It says this is the house of self-expression and the pleasure of showing who we truly are, okay? Like I was talking about. Here we see one's creativity and artistic vision, how we like to have fun, playfulness, and pleasure, games of chance, love affairs, and also children. And it says down here, I create, okay? And then we have here Gemini, and its ruling planet is Mercury. Okay, so interesting, very interesting. So Gemini rules your 8th house, Scorpio, and this is where your solar eclipse is happening. So this is the sign where your north node is for the solar eclipse. Also, Venus retrograde is in the sign of Gemini for you, Scorpio. And 5th house, it says here, the house of self-expression, where we have the pleasure of showing who we truly are. And Chiron and Lilith is moving through your 5th house in Aries. So this is you sort of encountering again the parts of you that maybe you had oppressed or suppressed because because maybe you had your feelings hurt. Maybe people made fun of it. Maybe people didn't accept it. Maybe someone else rejected it. So these are the parts of you that feel rejected. Lilith was the first wife of Adam, and she left Adam because she didn't want to be subservient. She didn't want to be the sort of partner or wife that he expected her to be. So there's a bit of rejection happening with your 5th house. And Chiron is that wounded healer that's also traveling through your 5th house, Scorpio. And so this is healing all of those old wounds of rejection that came by means of people not accepting you, not appreciating you for who you are. The people and things that tried to change you throughout life to make you more attractive, more acceptable, more desirable. So you're really dealing with those sort of wounds that have been made there. But like I said, issues and feelings of rejection. So this is confirming what I picked up earlier for you, that spirit is preparing you for this soul to soul connection with someone or something. And this is why you're being stripped emotionally naked, Scorpio, because spirit needs you and this other being to recognize each other when you meet or see each other or come together. Chiron and Lilith is helping you to express the parts of yourself that you have suppressed, like I was talking about in these cups cards down here. Remember, I was saying that there's a part of you that wants to come to the surface, Scorpio, and it wants to be fully expressed and realized by your ego. 5th house is the house that is ruled by the sun in Leo. The sun in Leo energy represents our ego, the way that we identify and present ourselves to the world. This is all about your inner authority, your inner light, how it shines, how you look to the world. So the deepest parts of you are surfacing. That the way you don't take it as an attack or a negative thing. When this other individual requires your transparency, when they ask you for all of you, you're going to be able to give that. Okay, let's go ahead and check out these next 3 cards right here to see exactly how you are supposed to be managing or dealing with any sort of obstacles or challenges that may arise this June, because that's what I shuffled. I set the intentions for these cards when I shuffled them for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. And we have here the card of protection, beautiful. Then we have here, look at that, going forward. Oh my God, all this green. And then we have new beginnings. Okay, and it's 234 right now, 234. And that 234 definitely represents numbers in sequence like that represent going forward, new beginnings, you know, boom, boom, boom. Okay, so how to deal with challenges this month, Scorpio. We have here new beginnings, going forward, and protection. So realize that you are on the brink, the start of your new beginning in next chapter, Scorpio. That's usually what eclipses bring us anyways. But anytime you're tempted to go back to your old ways or are challenged by someone or something in June, realize you don't have to deal with it because you are going forward into your new beginning. And there's so much protection around you. This is why you're being guided to separate hermit mode in June for your protection. That's why you're being urged to separate from certain people, certain habits, certain routines, certain things, certain practices. This is for your protection. And so you can begin this next chapter. And look at all these trees that we have. Tree, 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 tree. We got a lot of trees going on. Tree in the Ten of Pentacles, tree in the Hermit, tree in protection, trees and going forward. Yeah, also in the new beginnings card right here. So this is roots. Kind of like what I was speaking on earlier. This is something trying to bubble up from the bottom to the surface, like the branches on a tree, how they started and they came from the root, right? So these are things that is sort of sourcing your growth, sort of sourcing your future. It's sourcing your new beginning. It's sourcing you moving forward. You're pulling nutrients from this place. Okay, you're pulling nutrients from this place that's trying to come to the surface. And this is why it's so important to recognize it. That the way you can say, okay, if I don't like what it is that I'm pulling my nutrients from, what I'm pulling my motivation, my energy, my strength from, I need to recognize it so I can change it. That the way I'm not pulling my nutrients from fear, from the past, from regret, from shame, from insecurities, from whatever, right? So that's really important to recognize here, okay? Let's go ahead and check out these next 2 cards. These are serving as additional messages from Spirit for the month of June for you. So let's see what we have. And we have here Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. That's interesting. Very, very interesting, actually. I'll put that here. And then we have here, look at that. Look at that. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do, Scorpio? What would you do? Good question, right? So trust your path. And Anna, that's the message here, Scorpio. If you would be supported, what would you do? Who would you be? What would your life look like if you knew it was all destined to work out in your favor? Laying foundations. It says here in this card, laying foundations. That sounds a lot like the roots in these trees, right? How they lay foundations with their roots. There's a divine plan that you are being asked to trust in. New beginnings, going forward, protection. There's a divine plan unfolding for you, Scorpio. This is beautiful. Trust your path. Trust in it. As well as you're also being protected. For Anna, grandmother of Jesus to pop up here. You're definitely being protected big time. We also have the protection card, yeah. So for sure. And that's another thing that trees represent. They represent stability. They represent strength. They represent protection. You know, many animals and insects, they use trees as homes. They're so sturdy, you know. It takes a lot for something to rip a tree from its roots, right? Out of the ground. So this is a lot of strength and protection coming to you in the month of June, Scorpio, which is amazing. Let's go ahead and check out this card here to see the journey that you are on for the month of June. And we have here regret. I know that I cannot change the past. Wow. Okay. Where should I put this? With regret, Scorpio, you're learning how to release regret where it's no longer a part of your identity. That's what Spirit is doing. Spirit is trying to set you up, Scorpio. We're down the line in the future. Whatever is about to come to you or is trying to come to you, Spirit is protecting you from feeling regret in the future, that you were too afraid to put yourself out there, to take the risk, to be vulnerable, to allow yourself to genuinely feel and connect to something or someone else. Fear will put you in a state of regret, and Spirit is working to release you of that because fear has brought many regrets to you in the past. Fear of failure, not being enough, not doing something the right way, being rejected, being judged. All of that fear kept you stuck and stagnant, too afraid to try or move, and then that evolved into regret. Look back on your regret, Scorpio, and let that be your strength and courage to move forward. With a full and open heart. Trust yourself so you can direct. Trust your past so you can learn from it, and trust your future so you can take another swing at happiness, okay? Let's go ahead and see the next two cards here because this will be revealing the overall energy of your month of June, okay? And we have here resistance. Interesting. And cosmos, look at that. Cosmos and resistance couldn't be any further from each other. Cosmos doesn't believe in resistance. It's all about flow. You see all these lines in the Cosmos card just flowing everywhere, and resistance, it's like there's this box, it's just blocked off. Yeah, that's what we're working through. That resistance is being slowly broken down, slowly melted down. That the way this deepest part of you can come to the surface. So Spirit is breaking that resistance for sure. With resistance and cosmos, interesting pair of cards. Resistance feels like this Queen of Cups in reverse to me. Like I was saying, naturally you're used to suppressing, pushing it down, resisting parts of yourself. What if you didn't do that anymore? What if you allowed it and embraced it, Scorpio? Because the cosmos is working in your favor. It's bringing you towards your greatest fear, because your greatest fear is the key to unlocking that resistance, to breaking down that resistance. Your greatest fear is the key to your greatest happiness and joy and peace. The cosmos is challenging you like it does for everyone, especially during eclipse season. But this is just all about, finally breaking that surface and rising to the top and rising to a place where it's like that part of me is no longer suppressed. Let's go ahead and check out you guys' health cards here for the month of June, see what we've got going on. And we have here children, and it says, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me to help children. Beautiful. And then we have improving health. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for your comforting reassurance about this situation. So with improving health and children, some of you are already parents. And if so, then your children are beautiful blessings that are bringing a lot of light to your life. Many of you have birthed earth angels, and they are helping you to stay encouraged. They're giving you strength and courage. And if you don't have children, then there may be children around you that are really offering you support. There may be some child spirits around you offering you support. You may have nieces, nephews, cousins, friends that have children, that are offering you support, which is so beautiful. It's so cute. But yeah, for sure, improving health. So do you see how it says comforting reassurance? That's all you look for and are motivated by, Scorpio. Like I mentioned in the beginning with this 10 of Pentacles down here, you love your stability. You love to be reassured, to know that you're doing the right thing, making the right choice. Like I said, listen, I'm a Taurus, so I get it. Like, I don't like to make a move unless I know like this is going to work out. I'm not wasting my time. Like I said, I'm a Taurus, so I get you. But I also mentioned in the High Priestess card, and in this card here, it says, Archangel Raphael, thank you for giving me this reassurance. So spirit, your higher self, your intuition, your angels are going to be the only thing that can give you a sense of comfort, stability, and reassurance in June. So lean on them, okay? Let's go on ahead and check out your relationship cards here to see what else it is that we're seeing. And so we have here the very first one, separation, time apart from your partner is on the horizon, okay? Then we have here codependency. And it says addictions are affecting your romantic life, all right? All right, sorry, you guys. Somebody knocked on my door. And then we have here, you guys, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, for sure. Okay, and then your final relationship card here is kindness, and it says the energy of kindness reminds us to be considerate and wise in our interactions with others and ourselves, and to find the root of our love through our connection to source. Okay. So some of you, like I said in your astrological chart, you may feel like out of nowhere separating from the people in your life in June. Some of you may be in a codependent relationship. Maybe it's you or your partner or a combination of both of you being codependent on each other. But the interesting thing I feel is this person you're on the road to meeting, Scorpio, is having a similar experience right now where they are separating or severing ties with certain people in their life. You guys' journey feels very entangled. It feels very intertwined. It feels very connected already. It feels like you guys are walking this parallel journey. This could even be like a twin flame for some of you guys, soulmate, whatever you want to call it, divine partner, whatever you want to call it. This could definitely be that for you because these journeys, they feel similar. It feels like, and I have no way to see that because I didn't pull cards for this person. I didn't know this person was going to be making such an appearance in your reading like this. But, it feels like they're on a very similar journey to you. And I guarantee you when you guys do meet and get to know each other, you're going to be like, whoa, you went through that too? You went through that too? Like, they're going to probably be a little freaked out too. Like, how is our life journey so similar? It's weird. It's like you guys are living different lives but walking the same journey. Very, very interesting here. But yeah, it's all about deepening that bond. Like it says here, getting to know each other. It's all about deepening that bond, a true, genuine soul-to-soul connection. And Spirit wants you two to get to know each other authentically, not to get to know your egos, but getting to know each other, getting to know your souls. Because the thing is that when this person comes into your life, they won't recognize you if you are hiding behind the mask of the ego. Kindness says to find, right here, kindness says to find the root of our love to connection through source. So yeah, this is soul to soul connection. The root, again, that word coming up like the trees here. Allow yourself to come to the surface, Scorpio. Okay, for sure. And then the final two cards that we have here are your spell cards for the month of June that you guys can use if you want to. And we have here romance. Okay, so yeah, I feel like this card is kind of clearing up that for many of you, this is sort of like a romantic partner that's coming into your life, especially if you're single. But it says here, romance, it is a sacred power. Let it come to me this hour. And since you and this person may be sort of like dreaming of each other, that might be something that you want to say before falling asleep if you're trying to telepathically communicate with them, okay? So you could say something before falling asleep like 2 or 3 times. Romance, it is a sacred power. Let it come to me this hour, okay? And then in this card here we have, look at that. Wow. Romance, it is a sacred power. And then we have magical powers. Wow. It says, I weave and clear, I cast and know magic's secrets to me now show. Wow. Okay. So this is interesting. With this magical powers and romance here, you and this partner of yours, Scorpio, have a powerful soul bond already. And the thing that I'm picking up here is you both are even stronger individually when you are together. Your spiritual abilities and gifts will enhance big time when you and this person come together. Like I mentioned, you guys may dream of each other or see each other on the astral plane. And we even have a phoenix rising from the ashes here. And Scorpio, you are known as the phoenix. So use your abilities, your spiritual powers to bring the two of you together, Scorpio, because it's time and you are really able to do that. Wow. So yeah, we have a phoenix in this card, a rose in this card. And yeah, this is all about romance and magical powers. Somehow they're linked together. So like I was saying, your magical powers and this romantic connection with this person is going to really enhance your magical powers, as well as when you guys are exchanging, interacting with each other, even if it's just like on the astral plane, it's really going to enhance your magical powers, which is amazing. Oh my God. I'm excited for you guys because this looks this looks spicy. But yes, this is all that I'm seeing for my Scorpios. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. I do pray that this reading brought you guys some love, support, clarity, and strength. Don't forget to check out your moon, rising, and Venus sign videos if you have not already. They are all linked down below. Let me take this time to thank your guides, my guides, our higher self, amazing spirit, for these messages today. Hopefully you all come back to visit me sometime soon. But until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and keep conquering the world. Bye now.